Tyler, if you woke up tomorrow, all of, your training tools that you've come up with, you're only allowed to do 3 drills. What would they be?
Golf or dirt bikes?
Dirt bikes.
Oh, dirt bikes. If I was only allowed to do 3 drills, track or flat ground?
Let's go flat ground.
I would go one-handed standing drill. I think most people miss the point of one-handed riding. The reason most people need one hand is because they have no understanding of how to move with the bike front to back. Mm-hmm. And that's your energy saver. That's your arm pump reducer.
Yeah.
There's every person on planet Earth that's got like some new pill or some new like hydration drink that eliminates arm pump.
Right.
But there's 2 things that eliminate arm pump. Being in sequence with the bike, not overriding the bike.
Right.
Like obviously it helps to be in good shape. Mm-hmm. And your nerves play a portion of it, but those are the 2 main ingredients. Mm-hmm. Be in motion with the bike, don't override the bike. Right? And if you can do that, but you have to work up to the one hand. You get up there and stand up. It's pretty difficult to stand up and be in balance right away. There's some drills that are required, but you're asking me what I would do if I wanted to stay fresh. Those are the ones I would do.
What's the craziest story you have about just telling someone offhand, like, hey, you should try this drill, and they come back to you and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Dude, there's so many, just even at the camps, which is pretty cool that you can do it in a big group setting like that. And people are like having these, I call them light bulb moments, where the light bulb clicks on. You're like, oh, this is what I've been chasing forever.
I think other people call it light bulb moments too.
Do they? Dang, I thought I was like the most smart person ever. Yeah. You know where like I get a lot of that's in the ruts.
Really?
When we start doing rut work, like I know that the front to back balance and the positions are really helpful for the whole track. But to feel immediately how to drop into a rut where people have been chasing the feeling of a rut for however many years and always struggled with it, those are where like, oh my gosh, like this is it, right? Like I'm so happy I learned this. Mm-hmm. I think that I get a lot. I'm not going to give away the secrets on this. You guys are going to have to come to a clinic. But we have some really simple, because that's the goal, is like make everything more simplified, simple tasks to do and accomplish in a rut to make it work. I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think we hear this all the time when we were doing these drills in Verona Oaks last month with our camp. And I mean, I was talking to one guy, I think it was like John or something, and he was saying that he was doing just the one-handed standing. He's like, dude, I have like no arm pump after class because I was just
mainly because you're not using it.
I was just getting a little feedback from the riders after.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, I normally would only be able to do like 2-3 laps, but I went for 4. It's like, what? Which is kind of crazy that like one drill, it can expose. I mean, if you're built to do it, like if you're a complete beginner, like you've never ridden very much, that's not going to be possible.
Well, let me ask you a question, not to cut you off here, but just a simple question from a person who doesn't really ride that much.
Yeah.
How much would your arms pump up if you did sit-ups?
How much would it wouldn't do anything.
Okay, so what we're trying to do is use our arms less.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are using a different part of your body to absorb the energy 100%. That your arms are taking, they don't pump up. That's like, guys, stop trying to pitch people on all this arm pump stuff.
Yeah.
You've got to use your hands and arms less and in a less aggressive manner, and they won't pump up. If you don't do bicep curls, your arm isn't going to get tired.
Right.
You know, it's like...
What's your thought
people
on...
like really try... I think people are like trying to profit from this arm pump thing all the time. It's...
I see ads for this all the time. I'm not calling anyone out specifically, but what are your thoughts on a lot of the motocross fitness trainers? Because I think we've worked with a lot. I mean, we partnered with Evan from Outlier Athlete Development to produce a 12-week fitness class. And to be honest, a lot of it's not focused on, it's a very holistic plan built around like a mix of, some cardio to keep you through the winter, but then also just a lot of, making sure those like stabilizer muscles are good, like doing one-handed Romanian deadlifts, that kind of thing, that kind of keep you, or sorry, not one-sided. And so things like that. But what do you think is your general like hot take on?
Well, let me preface this. in the fact that I'm not like a physiology major or anything.
Ask Evan if you have questions.
Ask Evan, but my opinion on it is you just need to be athletic. Like you need to be an athlete. You need to train like you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to train like you're a bodybuilder. You don't need to train like you're a marathon runner. You need to train like you're an athlete. You want to be as strong as you can, to be at a weight that's manageable, a size that's manageable, like having mobility, but not too much where you're a Gumby, like where you're still protecting your ligaments and tendons and joints, right? So I'll just tell you what I would do for my son to make him strong, I guess, is I would have him do a lot of different sports. Like as an adult, like, hey, dude, you want to go play pickleball? Great. Let that, like, really run it hard and let that be your training for the day. You want to go for a run? Great. You want to ride a bicycle? Great. You want to throw a football? Great. You want to lift weights? Great. Like, anything that you're doing to become more athletic, I think is going to benefit you. Now, as you get to be more the elite level of riding, maybe that evolves into a really more specific way of training. You need to not be fat. You need to be able to jog 30 minutes or so. You need to be able to lift your body weight plus some. Right? Just foundational. And you need to be able to touch your toes and bend over and move your body around, turn your neck side to side, up, like, and it be functional.
You know, it's funny you're talking about you need to be able to touch your toes. And we see riders all the time come to our classes, and vet riders, and they cannot touch their toes. Funny, like whenever you push them, like, okay, let's straighten the legs out, their back rounds. And it's like, okay, let's flatten the back. Their knees come forward.
Well, that's a glute thing. I think for most men in general, what I see is they have really weak glutes or none. Right? The less glute strength you have, the less ability you're going to have to be able to get into a good, strong, athletic, hinged at the hip position. Guys don't train glutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not doing the hip thrusters at the gym like all these women are. We should be. Yeah. Like you got to train the back body to be able to support that hinge position.
Right.
Otherwise, you just tuck under and use the front of your body to stabilize, which is bad.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm quoting Evan. He said, where there's a tightness, there's a weakness.
Yeah.
This isn't me saying that.
And it's not
talk to Evan if that's not. But it's like, you know, if the booty is, you know,
the booty is non-existent.
If it's weak, if
not
it's
only are you going to not get any women, but you're also not going to be able to ride in a good standing position.
Yeah, we might
solve multiple problems here at the MX Factory.
We should do a moto booty boot camp
Moto
for
booty
the boys.
boot camp. I thought you did booty boot camp.
I tried.
Oh.
Okay, so
your friends still think you're doing it?
Yeah. So the next thing that I wanted to know though is when was the first time you did one-handed standing, powering forward, breaking back?
Probably wasn't until I was teaching it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do it when I was training.
Okay.
It wasn't really, riding one-handed wasn't really a thing back in the day. I think it was just testing it or like maybe even doing fun like riding clip videos. Like I did the one-handed, I don't know if you guys remember the hook shot, the basketball hoop.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like that was the first day that I was like, oh, I can ride one-handed. Like I can jump one-handed. Like maybe not the first day, but it was the beginning phases of like using that as a tool to get better. So it's not, I had good balance front to back, so it wasn't sketchy for me. It's sketchy for a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You shouldn't go to the track and do it right away. Just disclaimer.
Right. And so if someone's like, I want to do one-handed standing, what do you get? Like, where do they need to set this up? What are their steps to go start executing this?
Best place to do it is a really small field with barbed wire all the way around that's on fire.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. They're going to clip that, and I'm going to be like, you just want to be in an environment where if you mess up and your weight gets back behind center line and you get stuck, that you can have a little run out room to come off the throttle and recover. Because the problem with getting stuck back, if there's an obstacle you get fixated on, it's now my brain's trying to process, oh my God, I'm gonna hit this obstacle and I've got to stop. We see those whiskey throttle things happen all the time.
Right.
Not great. We want to set the environment to be really open, really flat, really safe.
Gotcha. And so what are the 3 biggest mistakes that you see with people? It doesn't even have to be 3, but what are the mistakes that you see with people trying to execute this
3 biggest
at class?
mistake. Oh, at class?
Yeah, I mean, that's where we see the most people, so.
Standing straight up and down.
Right.
Knees loose, knees forward.
Right.
So pencil standing.
Why do they do that? Why?
Well, I mean, when we're walking around every day, we stand straight up and down.
Right.
Like it's just the most known position to man standing.
But then they squat the knees forward, and then it's like they're doing half a wall sit.
Well, because lower center of gravity is less front to back pull and push. Yeah. But instead of hinging at the hips to get the head lower, they just squat lower with their knees. Because if I stood you up right now and said, just go lower for me, you would probably keep your upper body upright and just bend your knees down.
Right. Okay. Cool. Now let's get into drill number 2.
Well, feet on pegs, I think feet on pegs is important for people to understand because it's become like this thing that every coach uses, but I'm not sure they know why they're using it.
Yeah.
Two things that are really important for feet on pegs. One, it helps you start to understand left to right balance and timing of your throttle, where most of the mistakes that are derived in the corner are just mistiming, right? You've got really 3 things that have to match up: your speed, your lean, and the arc of the corner. How much your bike's steering. And if you can match your speed and your lean to that corner, usually it sticks in there pretty nice. You can stay in the line you want to. If any of that's off, it's going to ride high or low.
Yeah.
Now, from my experience, keeping feet on pegs helps you time the throttle or save your overlean or underlean a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because it eliminates the step of taking your leg off and letting your leg catch your overlean. Okay? Or dabbing your foot, which a lot of people, even the best in the world, still do. It just is what it is. It's human instinct to catch yourself.
Right.
Training feet on pegs turns the throttle in that scenario and also gives you the opportunity to put a little more pressure into both feet in the corner, which in turn lowers a little center of gravity. The weight goes to your feet and out of your seat.
Right.
So in theory, from a physics standpoint, you would fall a little slower if most of the weight's down low, so you have a little bit more time to react to a mistake. So if you want to fix something in the corner, keep feet on pegs, put a little pressure into the pegs, right? And make sure that if you feel an imbalance, you try to fix it with the throttle. Okay, sometimes that's coming off the throttle. If you're going too high, you've got on the throttle too hard, you may have to come off the throttle on the next lap around, be a little bit more patient with the throttle because you hit it too soon.
Okay, gotcha. And when did you start using this drill?
Feet on pegs, probably, 12, 13 years ago.
Okay, and what triggered you like, oh, maybe I should?
Just trying to be a G.
Trying to be a G?
Just trying to be better.
How'd you know that was what would make you better, though?
Oh, just trial by fire. I just would get out and do drills in the backyard and just figure out what worked, But I will say now more than 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of people are practicing it because they've seen it 100 times on the internet or been to a few classes where the coaches coach it. And also they see the best in the world doing it, so it's a great example of what right looks like when you can match what you're doing at home to what the people on TV are doing. So I just think it's kind of been a natural progression. Everyone's pretty open to doing the feet on pegs.
And so if someone's at home right now, they want to do this in their backyard, how would you prescribe this for them to set this up? And
it's easy. Get on your dirt bike and don't take your feet off. Anytime you ride it or when you're turning the bike, keep your feet on.
Right. Okay, cool.
And one other cue that I've been practicing a lot lately is feeling like my heels are behind my butt, which is going to make you pull your toes back pretty far on the foot pegs and make you sit on top of foot pegs or just in front of. So then your heels slightly get behind your butt. It's really helped my cornering recently. I'm always playing with different positions to see what feels good and kind of creates a little more consistency. I ride a Stark a lot, as you know, and a little bit of the downside to the Stark is it doesn't necessarily turn as good as my gas bike. It leans easier, much easier, but as far as getting the weight in the front end to bite, I feel like it's a little easier on my KTM. But the positions really help that. So.
And what are the 3 mistakes that you see with people that are causing them to dab their feet or make them feel uncomfortable with keeping the feet on pegs?
Well, the main mistake is it's not human nature. Like human nature is to catch yourself when you're falling.
Yeah.
So you're kind of rewiring your brain to use a machine to save your fall rather than your actual body. So I think that's something people take a little time to get used to. But outside of that, I think that the common mistake is just forget it so quickly.
Yeah. And that's why you need to work on one thing at a time.
At certain levels, you need to do one thing at a time. And I think more entry-level riders, you cannot do more than one thing at a time.
Right.
As you get to be a little bit more advanced, you can stack a couple things.
Yeah.
But you need to always be kind of gauging yourself on what you're able to do at speed,
Right. Okay, and then drill number 3.
What I like about no clutch, you got guys like Tomac that use a clutch a ton and get away with it. He's using that to manage traction and power. Most people are using the opposite. They're using to get to the power because they don't want to shift the bike.
Right.
So I think it just kind of disrupts the motion of the corner when you're on and off something. On and off the gas does the same thing. On and off the brake does the same thing. On and off the clutch does the same thing. It takes the fluidity out of the corner, and also it doesn't allow you to develop really good timing, which is the most important ingredient of the few ingredients that you need to corner well, which is when to hit your throttle.
Right.
And so from my experience, taking away the clutch helps riders understand when to hit the throttle and when to commit to the throttle. And it's one of our baseline things that we do at our clinics is, you know, you need to master the use of the clutch so you know when to use it, but you also need to use it a lot less than you think.
Yeah. And so it's pretty easy if you need to start implementing this, like, you know, maybe even do the Deegan, pull the...
I mean, the best in the world are doing it, right? So it's like a guy like Deegan, I think they took the whole clutch off of his bike.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
And I'm pretty sure that was on a 450 too.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And so that lets you know that they're trying to smooth that riding style out a little bit for him to enter the 450 class. You know, every CC you bump up, you've got to smooth out a little bit.
Right.
And the problem with that is kids learn how to ride these mini bikes real erratic and real off the back.
Yeah.
And then they get to a 250 and there's a slight adjustment. Then they get to the 450. That's why the path narrows as far as people who make it, so to speak. The path narrows all the way to that 450 class where there's very few that get there and kind of can, you know, make it. You've got to learn a riding style that fits every bike. And yeah, on an 85, you can be a little bit more off the back. They're not as powerful. 250, you've got a whole different animal. You got to be a little more on the front of the bike and a little more balanced.
Right.
And you got to know that every inch you move back behind the center line of the bike is going to be weighed into your hands. So you've also got to be pretty strong in your upper body. You're going to use your upper body a lot more. The 450 is the bike where you can use the least amount. Ironically, you can use the least amount of your upper body.
Right.
Because you end up being way off the front of the bike because they're so powerful. You almost have to, and they have plenty of accessible power.
Right.
You don't have to do the leaning off the back like this new school, like I'm all tucked back here. I think a lot of kids are doing that. Like they could probably gain 5 seconds a lap somewhere else, but they're also tucked with their butt hanging off the back fender down the straightaways. Like it's, you know, they're fighting for tenths of seconds. So I think that, you know, okay, Deegan, if you want to hang back there, yeah, you're the baddest dude in the world, and yeah, maybe you are fighting for tenths of a second. But that's not the greatest example for people that could gain 20 by doing the right thing.
Right.
And so that's something that, you know, people have to consider is like, don't just copy the pros because it looks like that's how they go fast. Understand like what the actual foundation is that they've built first before they've used these kind of erratic movements to gain a little bit more speed here and there. Yeah, but to make a long story short, we like to let go of the clutch to get the bike to the right gear, to smooth out the corner delivery, and think about less.
Yeah,
and it right away, like in our warm up, that's like one of our first things that we do. Right away, people come back and be like, you know, I felt a lot better in the corners.
Yeah, very
so
cool. Nice. Well, if you enjoyed this video, guys, we have another video that we just put out, basically breaking down Tyler's beginnings, how we got into motocross, how our training methodology came to be, and how you can benefit from it. So if you want to click somewhere around here for that video, it'd be awesome. See you guys later.